I'd like to share an article from the August issue of the Christian Womanhood magazine. It's one I wrote. The theme was handling constant family chaos. My article says clutter causes chaos. 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order. This verse should be in our heart and on our mind when we are considering whether we are living in clutter. Our God is a God of order. I never picture heaven with lots of stuff piled everywhere. I picture perfect, peaceful surroundings. How about you? How to know if you have a clutter problem. Do you have to move something in order to accomplish a task? Do your things overwhelm you? Do you procrastinate about sorting through items to discard them? Do you own items of no sentimental value that you have not touched in over a year, yet you cannot part with them? Do you impulse buy rather than buy because you really need it? If you checked any of the boxes, you most likely have a cluttered home, or at least sections of it are cluttered. This article was born a couple weeks ago when a friend of mine whose living space of 1,800 square feet was being downsized to 1,000 square feet. She asked me for some advice about how to make the adjustment. I must admit, I never thought through all that I do to maintain a very small home, approximately 400 square feet. So I shared my thoughts. I wondered if I should write them to you to see if these thoughts would provoke those of you who are trying to live in 1,000 feet like it was 1,800. My advice for my friend was as follows. Number one, buy an item to replace rather than simply because you like it. I buy shirts because I know I have one that is knobby and needs to go in the garbage. Number two, employ a numbering system instead of having bunches. For instance, we have a certain number of towels in our home. I have 2 sets of sheets. For years, I had only 1 set, which I washed and put back on the bed right away. I have 2 dish towels and 3 hand towels. I have enough bath towels for my husband and me, along with a couple extras should the grandchildren come to use my tub. Have you checked your linen closet to see how many towels, sheets, and pillowcases you have accumulated? I don't buy in bulk. If you don't have storage, why buy 18 rolls of paper towels and then struggle to find a place to store them? I have 1 roll on a dispenser and 1 roll in a cupboard. When I put the stored one on the dispenser, I add paper towels to the grocery list. During 2020, one of the hardest parts of COVID for me was the fact that I couldn't stockpile toilet paper. I simply didn't have the room. Number 4, decide how many tops you need for a 2-week period and keep only that number. My children were small. We had 5 people living in a motorhome. They had 9 everyday tops and 4 bottoms. We kept only 9 pairs of socks and underwear for each week. I had to do laundry every week, but it also afforded us the luxury of buying new clothes each year. After the season, those items of clothes were more than well used. Number 5, don't put it down, put it away. I must follow my own rule because I do not have the space in our motorhome to allow things to accumulate. If I did not, the clutter that would accrue would be a disaster in a few days when we left for our next destination. For example, I have a plastic folder where I put things that I must give attention to later, such as bills to pay and file or letters that need a response. Number 6, when you live in limited spaces, you must have a pickup time each day. Making sure everything is in its place at the end of the day will help you manage the extras that seem to come in. I live by these 6 principles that I shared with my friend. I could go into far more detail about the keepsakes that my family members feel are a necessity. I kept 1 large tote for each of our 3 children to store their keepsakes. Now they have those items to do with as they please. Other than that, we didn't keep many things. Soon I plan to transfer all of my photos from the family albums to digital copies. I am constantly looking for ways to downsize my storage. Each year when I go to my home area in Stockton, Missouri, I go through the motorhome to see what I can purge. I gave up keeping books years ago. I now pass them on or donate them after I read them. I am 62 years old. I have helped my mom and Kevin's mom downsize their household items. It's unbelievable how little we really need to live a normal daily life. I don't want my kids to go through my belongings. I want to go through them before they will have to. I hope I did not write this article in vain. I would love to think that after reading these ideas, you will go through a cupboard and get rid of various items that are cluttering your cabinets, tables, closets, drawers, and desks. Be an orderly Christian. Paul admonished Titus in chapter 1, verse 5, "For this cause left I thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting." Be honest with yourself. Is your home wanting or lacking order? Do yourself a favor and get in the mood to purge the clutter, organize, and straighten your living space. I promise you, you will be so glad you did. Yep, it's a great challenge for all of us to just look around and decide Do I have areas of clutter that I need to work on? Hey, if you need to, do it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait another second. Get busy on it. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice.